doing what we doing. Oh my gosh, it's such an honor. Ladies and gentlemen, oh yeah, I got a real treat on this one. Real treat on this one. Because this goes all the way back. This individual is with me today. Has no idea that she is actually the start and the reason where we are today.
I'm
If it
humbled.
wasn't for going all the way back, we get into it. Let me introduce y'all the legendary down there in Florida, holding it down, straight icon, doing incredible work and showing and showcasing the life of success in massage therapy, the impact on helping everyone, just a phenomenon, one of the best, as y'all already know. It's not on a comparison level, it's on the best version of them, and she's definitely making an impact and holding Florida down. Miss Seidy Cruz, Seidy lady,
you're
thank
too
you
much
for joining me. Thank you for being on the show. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me. 100%. I have always appreciated your energy. It's crazy to be on the massage journey alone. So to find people that you vibe with, that understand what you're going through and what needs to be done, it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. I'm happy to be here.
Oh man, yeah, and that, like, just a hint to give y'all information on how this all started. It was, I would say, what, pre-COVID? About COVID, I want to say pre-COVID.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I think we all took a little break right after that.
Yeah. But there was one particular, like, that's the time where I just got out of school, right? And what ended up happening is I started looking at, just other great massage therapy or massage therapists, licensed, of course, in the industry. I just started following everybody and paying homage. There was one particular story that you posted that started our journey. That meant a lot, that because you didn't have to show. It was pretty much a rough day. And I felt that, I was compelled on my heart. It's like, hey, I want to make sure she knows she's not by herself with this, right? And I sent you all those voice memos just to uplift you and thank you for you doing what you're doing and sharing that moment with us that you didn't have to, of how hard it is as a licensed massage therapist in a life and doing what you're doing. And from there, I was telling you, I was like, you know what? And even in spite of that, I'm going to shout you out. I'm shouting everybody out. I did that big old shout out. But you are the inspiration that sparked not just today's podcast, the podcast in general, because I felt, if you're feeling this way, I'm pretty sure a lot of other therapists are feeling this way. I'm pretty sure that this is the life that we all are living, but can feel, it can be feeling alone. It can be feeling however we feeling. And because once you get out of school, that's pretty much it. Everybody you went to school with slowly starts to drizzle off, as life goes on. You may interact with a couple here and there, but at the end of the day, most likely it can be real easy, just a click of the finger, of feeling like you're by yourself. Forgetting that, you're part of the industry and thinking it's just you going through what you're going through. So I wanted to do something to bring us all together, to know that we're not alone. We can talk, we can interact, that we're part of the industry, and being able to showcase how hard it is and showcase the aspect of, or on the life of a licensed massage therapist.
Right.
So when you did that episode, down the line, what ended up happening is, here we are today with this.
And that's funny that you talk about that.
Of that moment.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's funny how people remember certain things about the journey, no matter like everything that I've posted along the way, and I haven't posted anything like that since. It was only once, and I was pretty upset. But you know what? What I find is that we just go through stages as massage therapists. So even if we were upset about something, we learn that lesson and we move forward. You know what I mean? That lesson, that specific day is to remember your worth, you know? Uh it was I got asked to do an event, but the person didn't want to pay. And I was like, look, I understand. It's just chair events are pretty taxing. I feel like they're more work than regular work, you know? And oh, well, I just want you at the event. Well, I'm a normal person. I can just pay and go to the event. No big deal. I don't have to work, you know? And then it just became like this, oh, well, you should, with the time of Instagram and shout outs and stuff, well, you should be grateful to get, a job like this. And it's like, whoa, you don't talk to me like that. You don't talk to any of us like that. It doesn't matter what standing you have, which is another lesson that we all have to learn, because people say, "Oh, we'll send you someone, high up and fancy, or we'll send you." It's like you don't want those kind of people because they treat you that way, So that was, I think, the lesson that you probably stumbled upon that day, and it's been learned ever since. And dry eyes in the house. There's no tears for that anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
And the incredible thing to add on a positive note is that single-handedly is what sparked the idea of this podcast because of that moment. Mm-hmm. So I thank you for that. And that's the impact that you have with me personally of not only telling our stories and coming together, etc. It's because of that moment that we're here today. So I thank you again for sharing that. Thank you again for being open in that moment.
It was,
and that meant a lot to me as far as getting started, to know that it's tough out here. I'm just now, I did an event 2 months ago. I'm just now getting paid for that.
And it happens like that sometimes. It happens tough. Like that. It happens like that. And those are the things that you learn right away. You're like, you know what? Maybe I need to get paid for this whole thing ahead. No questions asked.
Mm-hmm.
That's not good. But I'm glad you got paid.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, I was looking, I was like, about time. I know some people may be looking at this and like, well, you just got paid 2 months ago. Yes.
Yeah. It is like that.
That's how it is.
Yeah.
But with that all being said, and the your presence and what you do, it's like your story is amazing. What you've been sharing is amazing. What you're doing is amazing. And I know everybody listening don't know. So let's get into your story. How did this all start? Where did this begin? Where you like, oh, you know what? I'm going to be a massage therapist. Let me find a school. Let me do this. Like, how did this all begin to get you to where you are today?
Well, I was playing with my son one day. We were playing chase, and I was Wonder Woman. I'm not sure what superhero, probably Spider-Man. And I flew across 2 chairs, right? And my body landed across both of them, and he jumped right in the middle, which is where my back was. So my stomach went down towards the ground, and I had a lot of back pain for a while. And then finally I decided to try a massage, and it changed my life. It was trigger point, which trigger point mixed with deep tissue. So it wasn't like, it was my first time. So it was like, what's going to happen, But he did such a good job. I mean, it was painful, but I felt better. And I never knew that was possible. And that was it. I went back for a couple sessions, and probably within a couple weeks, other stuff and personal life and ready to make a move on something. It just happened to happen. And then I was like, that's it. I'm going to school. And I've always been a very high energy person. So it fits. It fits because we let all that energy out all day working, you know? So that's it. I
Yeah.
lived in Atlanta, Georgia, and that's where I went to school. Atlanta, Georgia. I feel like it did me some good. It did me some good.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. And how, like, I mean, I'm pretty sure this was because you're legendary. You've been doing this for a while. Um, like, how's the school process in Atlanta?
In Atlanta, it was just a couple months, like everywhere else, but I feel like they were super strict. My school was very strict. Like,
Okay.
keep your nails up. Like, you would get in trouble if they even saw anything, you know, and uniforms and paperwork and things like that. I think universally, all the schools kind of avoid a few things because of the borderline of everything. But otherwise, my school went right up until, you know, it's like, hey, this is how it has to be. You know, my teachers were sassy, you know, and they were, a few of them were atrocious. It's like, you're so mean, but you need that, you know, you need that to toughen up for the world that was going to be coming at us, you know? So it was great. I loved
Mm,
it. I loved it.
no.
Yeah.
Cool. And then from there, you transitioned to Florida. How long was that transition? Was it right after? Maybe a
Yeah.
couple of years?
Yeah. I came down just a couple months after graduation, and then that was kind of rough because I didn't have anyone from school here. So I just kind of had to like get here and just look up massage, you know, because you don't know anything. So it was super slow at first, like with anybody else. You got your one, and then maybe 2 months go by, and someone else calls you, and then you got to know, you know what I mean? So it took a while to get started, and then I started working for a location, and they had just opened up brand new, painted the building, did the rooms. So I was like, you know what, I can trust this. Plus, I'm a clean person, so I was like, I'm not trying to move into an old moldy place or anything like that. And they did good. I was their lead therapist the first 3 years, and then they closed down. But I already knew at that point. I was like, I know, I think I know what I can bring. You know, I'm pretty sure. And then I was like, I'm out. Let me try some mobile. I started doing mobile before the business closed, and that was it. I got a few people, and I just hit the ground running. I was like, I gotta pay bills, so I gotta okay Monday through
Right.
Friday. I gotta have a certain amount every single day of people, and it was just constant, and saying yes to everything. Oh, 9 p.m. Okay, you and your wife, no problem. Out of there by midnight. It's like, but you have to, you know, you have to do what you have to do. So it was a struggle. It was a struggle. Yeah.
I can only imagine,
Mm-hmm.
the struggle you had to go through as far as changing states and, starting over from scratch.
Yeah.
I, went to school here and had the luxury of staying here and building from there was just a little easier, but doing it, from the transition is wow. Like, what was your mindset as far as like, because I believe we all come to a point where we're like, how can I get, or let's just say marketing, how can I get my name out there? How can I, doing mobile here, like, you know, what tools did you implement and put in place to give you the best chance of exposure?
Okay. I would say I started with Facebook, honestly, and every community has a page. Every city has a page. Every county has a page. Every specific niche has a page. So that's what I did. I devoted my weekends in trying to look for different pages in the communities, and then I would post once a week. And most of them are pretty limited, but that was years ago, so I'm not sure how Facebook is now. But you could at least post once a day on those pages, and I would, you know, and it's not like they can delete you, so you'll still see me in there. If you scroll through it, you'll see my old posts. But I would wake up and I would put those out. I also would join our groups. So I'm on the Florida licensed massage therapist group on Facebook, on mobile massage therapist group on Facebook. And really, that is like the gold right there, which I'm doing consultations now, and I tell my students that is the gold. If you add those groups, you go to the group, you scroll up to where it says search, and you put anything, um, drawer, massage drawer. You put that in the search bar, and you'll get tons of posts by other massage therapists asking massage drawer, and you wouldn't even think to put anything like that. But though I tell people too that the desperation comes when you have nothing and no one to help you. You just start putting in whatever you can. So I did that, and then I also tell my students that I did a lot of events. If I was driving down the road and I saw that they were doing like a woman's group get together, then I would go and, hey, what's going on here? Or you guys all own your businesses? I own my own business. And that's how you have to do it, because at the end of the day, you need your community to know who you are. So I did a lot of that.
Exactly.
I did a lot of that. And also I'm a woman, so I wanted to stay safe from the men. And my thought logic, I was like, if I get to know the wives, then there's no way any of the men in anywhere can mess with me, because the wives run the household. So that's really my driving force. I was like, I want to be safe, so I'm going to hit it hard and get to know as many women as I know, so that when anybody comes up, or if any, the drama that I've faced in this career, if any crazy nonsense, hey, my husband's coming to you, which I did have a situation like that in the beginning, I want it known by everyone in town. You're the crazy one, woman. I'm licensed. I'm insured. I've worked on, you know what I mean? So it's all, for us, it's all about, finessing our way like water through the rocks, through the crevices. We have to get in there in order to survive.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Like, that's where what you said is so vital. And I want to make sure that everybody don't miss the point of your mindset and strategy of connecting with the wives. See, when it comes down to doing what we do, a lot of times to get exposure, you have the events, you have everything, but sometimes you got to think outside the box. You got to hit it. It's like playing chess, right? And it wasn't just the fact of getting in good with the wives. You looked at it as a protection as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you know the wife, the higher the probability you won't have any crazy nonsense male clients coming to you, which is brilliant. It's like I'm going to target them, not just to get in good with them, because being in good with the wives, of course, husbands listen to our wives, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, it's like, oh, get a massage, you need this.
Yeah.
But I know that can't, or that may not be every situation. But most likely, it's a good probability.
Yeah.
So it's beautiful and brilliant how you strategize through that. Me was more of, because I'm just now getting into events. So my goal was to do a good job so much that that client want to tell everybody they know.
Right.
That was for the word of mouth for me.
Right.
So starting, at corporate, and then just building my way there, eventually people started talking.
Right.
And, writing reviews and feeling amazing and having their stories of how big of a session we have, and how impactful it was that they told everybody they know. And then when you get, from like 20 to like 200, real quick over like a year, like it just grew off of word of mouth. And this is why I personally, for me, it's a little tough social media wise on my end. My word of mouth is the driving force.
Yes.
I'm trying to build the social media up, being present, videos, share, and everything. And it does okay. It get looked at. But the turnaround, the flip side, is one time I mentioned before, usually a female woman licensed massage therapists are usually the victim, of nonsense behavior. But on the flip side, for male licensed massage therapists, they can look at the client being the victim on
Right.
that end. So they look at me, you know what I mean?
Right.
So it's
Well,
it's
up
tough.
it's
It's
up to
tough.
you. It's up to you because
Right.
my massage therapist
Right.
is a guy, and I mean I hear all the stories under the sun. But for guys, and sometimes that's why I wanted a guy in my studio. I'm really shooting for having a guy share my studio because I just want to nip that stigma in the butt. Like we are all the same. It doesn't matter. Like now at this point, some people do have their preference. I get it. But in all, like the stigma should be gone. You know what I'm saying? So as far as he says the same thing about social media too, and the thing is that I didn't have social media either. It's been a learning thing. It's like they change everything. I go in and I change everything, and then over the next couple of weeks, I pay attention to see who's watching, who's clicking this, what's working. But it's all studying. So if you're not taking the time to do that, you're not gonna. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna get far with it. But if just like him, his word of mouth is set. He's already booked. He's good to go. He doesn't need social media. Yeah, so he's like, I don't actually need it, but for me, I'm already booked and set. I don't need any more clients. But what I do need is fillers. You never know. You never know when somebody's gonna drop off, and that's just how our business is. We always have to have people coming. So, um, I just believe in it because if not, you're paying for Google, you're paying for Facebook ads, and the money just disappears so fast and nobody clicks on your stuff. So if you just keep directing and send your everybody to your Instagram. You're just like, hey, if you want to see my work, check that out. And you make sure that your actual page is lined up with your work videos only. And then whatever you want to sprinkle in there. But as long as they can see, that's just the generation that we're in. You know what I'm saying? For guys, I would say word of mouth. You're good. You're good. Anything other than that, you're just adding, you know what I mean, pizzazz to it. So I say just to keep you consistent, just post something to keep you consistent at this point. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
Definitely.
yeah,
Totally
you're
agree.
good.
That's the like you said, that's the stigma. That's everything in a
It is a
nutshell. Because
stigma.
we're the same. You know, like a lot of I may get male clients that come to me that be like, I wanted a guy because I wanted more pressure, and I'm like, there's plenty of women out here that can do amazing pressure.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
you know, it's so much
it is.
of non-true, fiction statements out here. It's
Mm-hmm.
just the industry we in. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? And it's kind of like you said, the word of mouth is straight. Like once you have yours, your
yeah,
clientele, it's all good.
yeah.
But I don't want anybody to miss fillers as well, because
Mm-hmm.
that's something I've been doing, but I haven't heard it in that perspective.
So what?
Those ones that may drop off and they
Oh
can
yeah,
fill in.
yeah, yeah.
So it's even though we're set, we still approach like new clients. We don't
Right,
need any more new clients, but it's good
right,
to have maybe a wait list, or good to have someone on the standby that would like to get a session from you
right.
from time to
And
time. So it's good to still promote, advertise.
you need those new reviews. You don't want to have a review stale, full of cobwebs from 2008. So you want to at least get a couple new ones during the year, which you will do because you're going to have to fill in space. See what I mean? Wink, wink.
Yes, definitely.
I like you
See,
gotta leave.
this
You
is
gotta get
all
some
these
new ones.
nuggets.
You gotta get those reviews, baby. But as far
Right.
as
Because if they're
stigmas,
going to look at something from.
no, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, it's like as far as, they look at 2008, they're like, that's, what I mean?
It is.
They'll side
It just
eye
is
it.
what
They're
it is.
like,
It just is what it is. It's the
uh-huh.
generation that we're in. But I was saying, as far as the stigmas, um, you lovely darker gentlemen are getting the new wave on this internet right now. Massage wave. I bet you're feeling the repercussions of that. My friend is quite handsome as well, and he's getting, he's like, I gotta keep my life together. Bat him off. Bat him off. But
Definitely.
I find that to be pretty amusing. Some people are taking it, and some people are like, hey, this is actually what I do. Relax. Are you going to come get a massage? If not, then you might want to keep on the internet. So I feel like this is kind of giving you guys, the ones that really provide the therapy and the work and the relief. I feel like it's giving you guys a big one up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's tough because one, I know, like, to piggyback off what you're saying, yeah, you have a lot of nonsense, I would say, out here, but you also have true healing out here as well. And there's a real thin line between true healing and actually therapeutic, holistic work with the touch of, compassion, a touch of love, touch of care for the well-being for the client, can, to be cared for, versus nonsense that, there's no draping, there's all these different angles, and it's like, what
It's
are y'all
not
doing,
massage.
right?
I keep telling
At
people, I'm
all.
not mad.
But,
I'm just saying, stop calling it
right, do your
massage.
thing, but
Stop calling
the
it
real
massage.
massage is coming. You know what I mean?
Thank
Like, we
you.
out here and we making a difference. The stories, I'm all 5 stars right now, and it's definitely, my session is not mechanical. It's not the average Joe. I really put care and love into my sessions.
That's great.
And, and you can tell it with the strokes and everything. The technique and the flow of making sure that we can help as best as we can. So it's very challenging on that. And matter of fact, even speaking of it, there's this one um, YouTube channel I was following, and she was talking about one of those type of therapists that were doing way too much. Right. And I made a comment on it. Something told me to speak. Now, it was a nice little paragraph to kind of go in and saying these types of sessions is what's making our industry look bad. It's making it tough for people, male therapists, because, like me, especially, because when someone, who knows, when, like, someone thinks of me as a male massage therapist, they may think of similar acts as happening, which is completely not true. You know what I'm saying? Like, never that. But they may have that image of, like, oh, that's like your boy from there. I'm like, no, I'm nothing like that. I'm actually licensed. I'm actually, really, what I mean, therapeutic, holistic. Now, the touch is very loving, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not about to have you in all kinds of nonsense. I still follow the protocol. I still follow, the draping. I still follow everything, and the body is respected. And it can be very loving, but it's not to the extreme of what has been out here. So when I commented on it and went in, I couldn't believe the backlash I got. A lot of people were saying about, oh my gosh, you wrote a paragraph, make it shorter. Oh, why did you have to bring race into this? And people telling me, like, how do you know this person is not? Because I was like, there's no way he's licensed. You know what I mean? Doing this. We have, oath, we have a, reputation, we have stuff to uphold to keep our license. And what he's doing, he's not licensed.
No.
And it was like, how you know he specializes in this? And I'm like, what? I'm not even going to go on into it. You know what I mean? Because then I realized, okay,
specializing in booty rubs.
Society. I'm not going to break this down.
I've never seen a certification
because
like that.
Y'all complain about the paragraph. I'm about to take over the whole post where you ain't going to see nothing but a continuation of me going. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's very challenging out here to stop the nonsense and promote more of the therapeutic, sensible, compassionate, care, touch. right? That's
Mm-hmm.
real holistic hearing. Like I'm a big fan of Sanctity and Somatic and you know, the way you, like I see you work on the arms a lot, the way you work on the feet, you know what I mean? Like, you can tell that you carry your work. Your hands don't lie, right?
Yeah.
And they make, well, for the guys, to go back over to the guys, you know, the lines can be blurred on what the society is seeing.
Right.
And not ever able to understand the difference between a real therapist versus clowns.
Right. Right.
You know
And
what I mean?
I would
No,
say
not to
just
them, do your thing.
right.
But it's different.
That's what I always say. And it doesn't come our job just it is what it is. It is what it is. People are gonna feel that way. People are gonna have that in the back of their heads. The times right now are so stressful and everybody's so lonely that it kind of comes off on us, but I firmly believe that the way that you set a relationship up with someone is how it goes from there on. So there's been plenty of times when I can tell that they came in for that with motions and some of the things I can tell. But by the end of the session, I'm able to get them to straighten up and be like, oh, wow, I actually was a mess. And damn, I feel better. Like, oh, and you did that and I'm not getting anything from you, but I feel better. And it's like, that's what I'm here for and that's it. That's it. And now you leave and you come back for the next one if you want, but if you don't, you saw what was up. You saw the possibility. That's what I like to give those people. The possibility of something more. Because we all know those 5 seconds are just 5 seconds. That's it. But I just gave you an hour and some hours afterwards of feeling better, days afterwards you're going to be thinking about the work. It's residual instead of your 5 seconds that you wanted. It's just it makes no sense, but I like that. I've heard other women say that too, that they like the fact that they come in, they think that's what it's going to be, and when they walk out they're scheduling another session because they realize, okay, that's not what it was, but I will take that. And that's it.
Right.
You don't have to make anybody feel bad about, anything. It's if that's how you feel, I get it. It's just not going to happen here. But do you want this? You know what I'm saying? It's up to us to direct how it goes. And the more of us that stick together and do this, the more of us that demand respect, the more of us that raise our pricing, the more of us that show our certification and licensing, it's going to change. It's going to change. It's going to gradual change,
Oh yeah. It's definitely on the increase, and like I've been using it ever since. Like my guy Sanctity said, you don't see things how they are. You see things how you are. So like you're saying, to piggyback off of what you're saying, like when you come in and if they had that mindset, usually I try to, or my goal is to give you a session so mind blowing on you feeling amazing, full body, energetically relaxed, no knots, loose, calm, no pain, just in complete zen with yourself, that it completely just shatters that image or that mindset.
Yes.
Where it's like you can feel absolutely amazing. And let me help facilitate with my care, with my techniques, with my full presence and intentions on you feeling the best you've ever felt in your life.
Right.
Through massage.
Right.
And usually it comes out that way, and that's what started the word of mouth, the 5 stars across the boards and Google reviews and et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
So, and it's like, wow. And even their wives bring their husband, or their wife, if there's a wife, they'll bring their husband. Their husband, oh, you gotta get. I got a lot of household clients that comes to me.
That's perfect. Right? Yep.
So
and that's how it is.
It's a beautiful thing, and it's like all my clients are like my best friends.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you build that care in the relationship of client, and therapist, of really caring, that's set on a foundation of a goal of reaching amazing bliss.
Right. Right. Like just mind blowing. Like I get it. I get it. I may be exhausted, but I feel like every single session, I give it all. I give it all. I'm like, ugh, all of it, all of it. And I love that too. I love that. Afterwards, when they like barely can walk and they're like, what year is it? I'm like, welcome back.
Yeah. Right?
We deserve it too.
Phones, like,
we deserve it too. That's why we give it that way.
Definitely. Totally agree. Now, have you found that, or at times, there's a lot of times where I'll give a session and like I feel recharged.
Yeah. Or tired. Have you ever gotten sleepy?
Yeah, I've gotten sleepy.
I've gotten sleepy when
relaxed.
Clients have gone to sleep. I'm like, ugh. Could be all them essential oils soaking in, and then the ambiance. I'm trying to take a nap too. Move over.
Right? Be having like 1 hour close.
Yeah, it's crazy. That energy transfer is crazy. You get happy. If I cry, I had a client the other day who cried, and I almost cried. I'm like, it's gonna be okay. Like, I just and I kind of love that too, because I know that I'm more high energy. I have more energy, so I don't mind having those moments with my people, and then being okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's, I hate when people are going through stuff like that. I'm like, just give it to me. Let it all out. Let it all out. Let it all out. You know what I'm saying? And when you leave here, just, everything is better. So I do think that it can be a little overwhelming, but as long as the self-care is there, which we're all horrible at that, but as long as we've got some self-care there, I think that it's just part of our job, that energy. It's part of our job.
Yeah. And dealing with it and understanding how to disconnect, understanding how to, it's a lot where you can be, like you're saying, you go home, you may not physically be exactly tired, but you're drained energetically because of the exchange and what we all been doing. So there's plenty of times I'll drop off of that and be like, oh my gosh, I just need to, like, I don't even want to go sleep. I just want to be. I just want to sit on the couch and just
don't talk.
Woosah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's crazy. But how is the, because I would assume, correct me if I'm wrong, I see you're more mobile than studio. How's the different, is it the other way around?
I started mobile, so I've been slowly transitioning everyone to the studio. It's hard for everyone to understand. If you start mobile and then you get a studio, right? Your mobile pricing is something, right? But then you get a studio and you have to charge more because you got rent, you got this, you got that, right? So what ended up happening in my journey is that my studio now is a little bit more profitable than my mobile. So I've been switching out more to bring more work to the studio to cover for everything and reducing my mobile. So now I'm mobile Mondays, and then Wednesdays I'm by the beach. Most Thursdays, every Thursday I start in the morning mobile, but then I'm back in my studio. So it's a little bit of both, but it's working until it kind of fades out a little bit, the mobile. It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work.
Oh man, that's kind of what I really, one of the main reasons I started following, not just usually license besides therapists. You always started off like at the beach or something, and I'd be like, man, because that was my access to even see the ocean.
Yeah, you're like, I didn't get this.
When
see some water.
There's no ocean, there's no beach, there's nothing around here. So I had
Where
to live
you
through
at?
your stories and be like, oh, that is nice. Oh God, that's beautiful. Okay, back to where I am.
Yeah. Yeah, but mobile off, like, it's a love-hate because mobile paid for everything. My mobile work paid for everything to ease me into a studio and stuff. So it's like I can't hate it, but it's just
it's a lot. Though.
It's a lot. It is a lot. It's a lot. The driving gives
You
you
know,
anxiety after a while. The packing, unpacking, and carrying. It's just it does. It gets to be a lot.
it's a lot. It's because I don't think a lot of people understand how taxing it can be, from the driving to the setup to the actual session to the breakdown, the cleaning, everything, back to the car to another location. Whew, that's where I give a lot of you know, like another great therapist in New York, Since Fuel. He's in New York, and he travels everywhere, and he's carrying his tables, carrying his linens, and he's all around New York. And I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it.
No.
I couldn't do it.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
It's too much. I mean, of course, he has the transportation. I know New York, you can get by without having like a car or whatever, if it's Uber or a train or however, subway or however. But just understanding, in New York, what really gets tiresome is because it's vertical a lot. So if he goes into a building, he may have to go to the 13th floor through the stairs. Like, I don't even want to see that. Yeah, I'm canceling.
No, no, dude. I have one set of stairs left, and it's every time I'm like, these stairs.
Right?
No, I couldn't even imagine that. But I bet he's pretty fit. Yeah. I bet he's pretty fit. Okay, see, that's what it is. That mobile life.
He's good.
Yeah, he's
that's
good.
Why I take my hats off to him.
That's it. That's it. You stay fit and you make the money that you need to make to get to where you need to. That's what mobile is good for. Otherwise, it's not good for our back. It's not good for our car. It's not good for our equipment. It's not good for anything for us.
Right. Because then we're going to be the ones, it's going to be reversed. We're going to need sessions more than actually being able to give the sessions and help everybody, because we're so broken off of just the amount of weight that's put on us to operate that way. Yeah, it's very hard on the body.
So you're not mobile at all?
Our sessions as well.
You're not mobile at all?
I am with requests.
Okay.
With requests.
Yeah.
But I try to steer more towards the studio.
Obviously, yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Because not just because of how much time it can take. Like in studio, you can do more work, if I say it that way, in a day than you can mobile. I think half of the day is taken out, depending on how you schedule it.
That's right. Yep.
Depending on how far everybody is, or you have a 15-mile, 20-mile radius, or however.
Yeah.
That travel time can be another session or two to help someone. But the cool thing is you also get to see, and be outside and see all that. I mean, it sucks during, maybe in some areas, winter days or something like that.
Right.
In some areas. But, other than that, it can be okay. It's a bittersweet.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's bittersweet. But I'm like 90% mobile now.
Yeah.
I don't have many that do, or not mobile,
in
studio.
That's nice.
Yeah, I don't have many that request mobile. Some do, but not many.
I mean, as long as they pay the.
Yeah. So,
mm-hmm.
So you have students that I've been hearing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Tell us about that.
That's just the next levels, we have to reach. We got to try and figure out how. If we can do consultations, we can teach classes, CEUs, we can hire someone to take over the other time that we're not in our studio. We can hire other people in other rooms. You know what I'm saying? It's just another option to put out there. I've been through enough things where if anybody wants to sit and chat and, hey, I can't seem to get this right. Okay, well, I can tell you what I tried, and I can tell you what I've read about, and what I've come to conclusions. So usually that's what it is. I tell everyone it's just like an hour for us to chat. I at first I was like, but then after a while, it is what it is. I have gone through a lot. I've messed up a lot. I've learned a lot. So you got to have someone to turn to the way that I didn't. That's kind of how I look at it. I'm like, I didn't have anyone to help me. And I reached out to someone. I paid for their consultation. And then after that, I paid for their CEUs because they made a CEU. Um, and it changed everything. It changed everything. Just being able to talk to someone and say, hey, I'm thinking of getting a studio. And he was like, why not? And I was like, why not? You know what I mean? Sometimes you need that, like, somebody to be like, it's all good, you're fine, you're headed in the right direction. So that's kind of how I look at the consultations. So I'm like, if anybody wants to chat for a bit, an hour, I'll schedule it out because I am pretty booked. I'll schedule it out and we'll chat. Yeah, I love it.
Definitely.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Like, that's like giving back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For, the future to pave it forward. I usually go to my school from time to time. I'll just go over there and
chat it up.
Not really. They call it audit. I'm like, I'm not auditing anything. I'm just sitting in.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even like the word audit.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm just sitting in and then
you're
just visiting.
You're spying.
Right? Just visiting. Right? But then they oftentimes want me to, I guess because I've been doing it for a while now, want me to give like some, advice on becoming therapists.
That's right. Yeah.
It actually feels pretty good to be able to talk to them and know, like, we were. It wasn't that long ago.
It wasn't,
there, right?
But you have that to offer, and that's part of seeing your worth. You're already at a different level where you can turn around and stretch your hand out and say, hey, come on, I got you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's awesome. Yeah. I'm glad that you do that. If I was closer to my school, I would totally go up there and see my teachers and have some chats. So I'm glad that you have that available to you.
Yeah. And I was able to, I haven't got to the point where not as much, I'm assuming, as you do. Maybe like 2 people or 2 students or now licensed massage therapists follow me and pick my brain that I talk with every now and then. So I'm able to give back that way. And even at the school has, esthetician's class as well.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of like, I can't give any pointers on esthetician life.
Yeah.
But as far as business life, working for yourself, things, it's similar but different, but similar but different.
Yeah.
And I just give pointers. I don't even really go in there much because it's completely separate. But
it's different, but still, it helps.
I can ask questions. Yeah, definitely. Every little bit helps.
Yeah.
So, like, I seen, what was the last post you got? You traveled.
Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, that was crazy.
How was that?
That was, again, I'm pretty quick with the levels. I'm like, traveled one time. I'm a traveling therapist. It's done. Ain't nobody got to tell me twice. So, but yeah, it started with them. But honestly, my niche market, we have to find our niche, like the people that we really speak to directly, And mine turned out to be entrepreneurs because I'm just as busy as them. So I'm like, look, if you can't schedule, it's all good. I'm not mad. I get it. I'm just like that too. Or you need to reschedule. I get it, Or, hey, I got to pay for this, new increase and this business spend. It's like, I get it. It's all good. So it happens to be who I attract and who I work on. So it's kind of been over the years as people are like, a husband and a wife, they're taking off to, the Bahamas. It's like, oh, shoot, we wish we had you there. And the wheels start turning 5 years ago, And then a couple years later, it's like, this I would say this mechanic, he owns cars and stuff. It's like, oh, man, I'm going to Arizona to do this huge thing, da-da-da, and I wish you were there. That would help at the end of all these meetings. So the wheels keep turning as you're traveling your journey. And finally, my client the other day, he was like, we're going to Puerto Rico. We're going to go stay over there. That's my town, baby. That is my town. I was like, what's up? And he was like, well, if you want to come, you can work on me, the wife, her parents, and you don't have to pay for anything. And that's literally how it went. I expected to pay for something. And I didn't have to pay for anything, although I don't roll like that. So I did bring out my card and sneak it in there a couple times before they could. But they paid for the flight. I They in Puerto Rico, homes are built a little different, so it was like a house with like a small studio on the roof overlooking the mountain. You
Wow.
know,
Yeah,
I'm
it was
like,
beautiful. It was
oh,
beautiful.
it's too much. I can't do it. I was like
I
super
loved it.
happy. Super happy. So I
Yeah.
was like, this is something that I can do. I'm sure it takes a little bit more finessing on the legal, side standpoint, crossing, borders and stuff and things like that. But it was just friends of mine slash clients. I did one massage, two massages the whole time, and that was it. I was like, this isn't even how it goes, but all right, okay. So it was the best damn massages ever, though. I'll tell you what. I was like, this
Oh
is
no.
it.
Yeah.
This is it. Ba, 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 ba,
Yeah.
ba.
I know you was zoned in. You was like activate.
That's right.
I see. I saw that first stroke. Like you did the thing, and you had
It was over.
your fit on,
That's
and I knew
right.
as soon as you started, I
That's
said, "Oh
right.
no, she's about to go in.
That's
She's
it.
about to go in."
So, have you done any traveling? Have you done any traveling
Not
yet?
yet. To kind of piggyback off of what you just said with the traveling, like I'm trying to set up, um, like what you said, not just from state to state. That's a little bit easy, but I would like to set it up in a way where I'm good wherever.
Ever, yes.
Um, like there's a couple episodes coming that I'm even talking to other therapists in other countries, and the first one will be in Nigeria,
Yeah.
and working on how, and speaking with my accountant and everything, how can we take this globally? That way, when things happen like that, it doesn't matter if I'm going, to Florida, Chicago, or Alabama, to visit, Life Touch, or
Yeah.
Jersey with Body Joints. Like no matter where I go, even all the way over there to Nigeria, to Abuja, 5-star
Mm-hmm.
massage, and others, it's all in one. So I'm
Right.
trying to set that up on the legal side before I really start hitting, because then I don't have to worry about it. I try to get things for me. It's just better to be proactive. It's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that way I'm not worried about it, and I could just go.
Yeah.
Versus like, oh, this was great. Now let's try to set it up. It's like, oh, let me set it up so I could just go.
Yeah. 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 Yep.
So,
Yep.
you know.
Yeah, that's gonna be
I mean,
nice.
other than that, I mean, I've traveled. I mean, stayed, a couple of states before, but
Yeah. Yeah, that's nice.
that was like a drive, like
Yeah.
a 2-hour drive. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Not big,
Yeah.
but working on it, working on it.
Did your school certify you guys just for Florida?
I'm in Indiana, and yes, for instance, Indiana. Yep,
Okay, you went to
just
school in Indiana? Oh,
went to
okay,
school in
okay.
Indiana.
Okay.
I got everything established here in Indiana, and they've mentioned, and this is why I've been a couple of places that and I looked into, like, you can go anywhere, especially like anywhere in the nation.
Right.
You just have that window before you have to really like register in a state. Like you get like 2
Right.
weeks. In some places, it has to be a span of 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Some places you can break it up. The 2 weeks you can break it up and
Yeah.
maybe do like a weekend or another weekend. Just got to figure out which one is the
Yeah,
state
and the
allows,
specific.
or
Yeah.
and really get into that. And then it goes down to how much money you can make before it's like, okay, you need to register the
Yes.
business in that state in
I
order
know,
to
it's the
operate in
worst.
that state.
It's the
So
worst. Yeah.
that's what I'm trying to figure out right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. Well,
Because
you're
I'm
gonna.
coming down to the floor. I'm coming to see you.
Yeah. No, this is You'll have to get back to a lot of people on that because I'm sure a lot of people are waiting on an answer on that part. It's just if you're too busy to try and figure it out, you don't have the time. It's hard to find out all that stuff. It's a lot. My school,
Yeah.
I chose that school because it was nationally certified. And then halfway through my program, they changed it. I was so mad. I was so mad. I was like,
God.
that's the whole reason I chose this school so that because I was in Georgia and I wanted to come to Florida. So I was like, it's not going to be a problem. I'm already nationally certified, so I can just move back home. It won't be a problem. And they changed it. So I was really upset about that. I don't know if anything could have been done as far as like I probably should have spoken up and said something like, hey, that's totally unfair. But it's not like I go anywhere anyway. Like, no, no. And then I've had my son at home this whole time, so I've never let myself think of flying or traveling.
Yeah.
So now it's like a whole other door that I can maybe open and look at, think about. I know when I first started, I thought about cruises, but I didn't think about that very well. Like to be gone for a whole week on a boat and you're stuck watching everybody have fun and have drinks. And you just got to stay in this little tiny. I was like, nah.
Yeah, I was like that as well. I've been hearing that the cruises, I mean, from what I heard, I don't know. Yeah. I'm just saying in general, from what I heard, that you work a lot on cruises. Like it's very taxing. Yeah. From what I heard. Yeah. And, being in that one area, you got that whole cruise ship. Like you said, I'm pretty sure you think the same way I'm thinking. If I'm on a cruise ship, I'm trying to chill. I'm trying to, you know what I mean? I ain't trying to be.
But you can't look over and see your massage therapist getting hammered in the spa. Like, I get it.
You know what I mean?
But I mean,
yeah, that's what I was like.
It'd probably help us connect more, bro. Let's have a drink together. Do your massage tomorrow.
You know what I mean? That's what. Even with that, just to piggyback off of that, like, I really am trying to. I mean, of course, I was joking, but I really am trying to connect everybody. Yeah. That's the other one of the reasons for the podcast. Like we were saying, like I'm really trying to connect everybody together, and that way we can do this big push. Because this big push that I'm doing, where we get all our amazing licensed massage therapists, our healers, our holistic, just everybody. I just dropped the herb session or episode. Just bringing everybody together on self-care and see if we can do this massive push. And in another way, trying to see if I can make this thing global. That way we can do these events, which I think I talked to you. Was the first person I think I talked to about that. You and one other person.
It was like trying to get a weekend where everybody would get together. Actually, I think there's something like that going on here in Florida in a couple of weeks. Premier Massage or something like that. I got a message from someone about that. Yeah, I don't know. I think they're hosting an event or like a massage therapist social. I don't know. I'll have to look into that.
It's going to be different though. But yeah. I don't know.
I know. No. We got to have fun. We got to just be ourselves. Yeah. I don't want to go to a class. If it was like, hey, this is us. We're getting together. We're going to hang out. Like, no requirements. It's like, all right, I can maybe do that. But if I got to sit there in a cold-ass building, a cold-ass AC, I was like, it's not fun.
At all. Like, for ours, it'd be more like a retreat. Like us coming together, doing. I think Life Touch was telling me about. They have one. I think kind of like what you were saying, cool. So I think that maybe a lecturer to get together for all therapists in. I want to say Charlotte, Charlotte or Carolina, something like that. From one of the Facebook groups and everything like that. But no, the event I'm talking about is like. We come together, like a retreat. We rest, exchange, talk, just bring everybody together. And then for the ones that want to, like it'll be a first half and the second half. In the second half, we work together. Right. If you want, right. And that way everybody is like, oh, that's crazy. You know what I mean? You know how it was like when we were in class. Yeah. And the vibe that was in that room was crazy. Everybody's getting it in.
Yeah, trying to figure out different moves. Yeah.
Right? Like, oh, you doing that. So I'm trying to even put it as a competition. Oh, you know that move? Or what about this move right here?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, just it's just all fun and play. Just like, we're really getting to work, really doing what we're doing. But that'll be that. So we can come together, we can rest, enjoy the moment, just be amongst each other's presence. And then for the ones who want to, we'll have it to where, I don't know, of course we have to, the clients or whatever have to pay and intake and all this stuff. We'll have, people we can work on and we'll do it together, and it's like, man, this is that vibe. That room is going to be crazy.
Yeah.
That room's going to be crazy to be. It's going to be an incredible thing once I get together. And I want that to be pushed globally. Part of that step is to figure out how to go globally. You know what I mean? You see the stairs that I'm.
It is.
The steps I'm taking.
It's, I guess, keeping up with whatever's the most, I guess, popular. Because I would say Facebook gets you connected to a lot of people. Those groups get you connected to a lot of therapists. It just depends how you use it. I would say it just depends how often you're going. And obviously you're catching the attention of overworked, tired, you know what I'm saying, people. It's got to be, you know what I mean? I think it's already working. It's already working. You got the podcast going. You've got people coming in and giving their perspective and speaking the truth. It's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time. And as you do this more, you'll learn like what works for everyone. So then you'll really be able to put on a badass event.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
I can't wait. I'm excited. You welcome.
Yeah. I'm for it.
Yeah, I love it. I love the fact of the support I have on it. That's the vision.
Yeah.
And it's going to, the fact that everybody is open to it that warms my heart. You know what I mean? Like, oh my gosh, like.
We get busy, but I think
my LMT brothers and sisters.
That's what I was gonna say. We're here. We're all busy, but I think that we all think the same. We're just busy. We're doing what we have to do. But these moments where we're able to come together like this, we're all just laughing and talking shit. That's it.
Yeah, just chilling and laughing and talking about experiences, and it's like, have you experienced this before? It's like, no, I ain't never, just having a good time.
Yep.
Right.
I agree 100%.
So what does, for Seidy Cruz, what does the future look, and what's the goals of where we're trying to get to? I mean, I believe I heard it a little bit before, but where do you see you 5 years from now?
Goodness. I don't think that far. It's so funny. I only think a couple months at a time, according to the CEUs. I'm like, oh, I got this one. All right, we're thinking this. Honestly, I just I've seen a change in the industry a little bit as far as passion, commitment, consistency, work ethic. I've tried to hire a couple times and it didn't work out. So I would say those were me trying and failing, but then understanding maybe I don't want to do that, So I realized I don't want to hire. I don't want to deal with other people for right now. So I think that I want to get even more personal. So when I graduated school, I said that I wanted it to be where you come in, there's no rush. Right now I've got 30 minutes in between everyone, but I want it to be like you come in, you know what I'm saying? You get a little bit of wine, you sit down, catch me up real quick on your drama while maybe I clean your feet off with some some nice oils and hot water. That way then you get undressed and get on the table. You know what I'm saying? Like I want it to be an experience, So right now, I went so hard on the deep tissue that no one around here is like me, that I have so many people with pain that it kind of took me away from that experience. And I've slowly been pulling it back towards experience. So the past couple months, that's really been it. I've been lowering my schedule, increasing the quality of the work, and focusing on that. And eventually, I would say, yeah, by 5 years, I'm hoping to really narrow it down to like maybe 3 a day. And it's like a whole thing. And that's it. You know what I mean? So I don't know if that'll work.
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
know how it's going to work, but that's how it's always been for me. I don't know how it's going to work. Let's just see how it goes. And here we are. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's very doable.
Yeah.
Because that's why I was pointing me, because I'm doing almost exactly that now. My max in a day is 4.
Right.
And this is how my schedule is. From 9 a.m. to 1 Eastern. For whoever wants to schedule it, they schedule it. I put it all in their hands. You have the link, you have the site, you book it, the intake is there. Everything that needs to be done in business is done.
Right.
Unless you just do a deposit.
Mm-hmm.
I encourage, just get it out the way.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
But I understand that's why it's there, you know, to help build that trust for new clients that may come in that's not sure, you know, just credit card and PayPal. They don't want to use the credit card. I got PayPal there, which is like the safety net for them to make whatever they feel comfortable.
Right.
I try to give them all the options there. So by the time they come in, there's no talk. I mean, we could talk, you know, to get more in depth, but it's really straight to the table.
That's nice.
Everything I need to know, unless I need to go in depth. Like, so where in your shoulder exactly? Something like that, or where in your hip exactly? Like, you know, like, is it more towards the QLs? Is it more towards, you know, the gluteus? Like, you know, like where, you know, and then they can, you know, I get that information. It's like, okay, I see what's going on. I got an idea. I'm stepping out, adjust your comfort level to the table. We're going. You know, that takes like 2 minutes. Then I'm able to maximize the most out of the session with the time.
Right.
Then once that's done, I have 30-minute gaps in between lines.
Good.
Because I encourage them, that's where, you know, the conversation, like how you feeling, they can start. Or, you know, if I know they're massage drunk, they're really out of it, you know, it's like, it's no rush. I encourage you not to get off the table right away.
That's right.
Take a couple of moments. Life is going to be out there when you get out there. You know what I mean? This is your time to get away from it all. Enjoy the waterfall that I got here. Enjoy all that. The music is usually going, and the music playlist is bomb. Like, it's crazy. I'm going to have to send it to you.
Yeah.
I think you'll love it. And on Spotify, like, it's bomb. I'm telling you. So they do that, and then they take their moment, you know, see if they want water. I got water and stuff right here. And then they take, you know, 5 minutes or so. And I have my curtains here, and I tell them when they're ready, just open the curtains. That lets me know there's a little bench out there that I sit at. And when the curtains open, it's like, okay, they're ready. Then I come back in. If there's a payment to finish, then it's that. But most likely, it's like, enjoy your day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
And then that leaves me like 20 minutes in time to recharge myself.
That's right.
Flip the room, have a moment. Because I also tell my clients, I encourage not to show up more than 5 minutes to allow that time and that space in between, you know, even if it's first or whatever, to prep. Like, there's things that goes between sessions as far as me cleaning off the energy and, you know, preparing to be 100% present with you. Right. I can't do that if you're cutting that time short. Now I'm trying to clear, but I'm dealing with your energy as well, you know, so I try to encourage that. And then say I got 2 sessions in the morning. By the time 1 o'clock hits, I'm done for not for the day, but I'm done for a while. I take about 4 hours to myself. Yeah. Right? And for the one, I come back for part 2 or halftime. I come back at 5 and do like a 5 to 9. So there's average of 2 sessions there in the evening, 2 in the morning, and then we go from there.
And you're good.
You know, and that's my Monday through Friday, every other weekend, because I have my boys. Every other weekend, you know, I'll shut it down. One weekend I'm working, and that's the flow. So I'm not working as much. I can put more energy in there. Of course, prices has increased to kind of accommodate and balance it out, but it's still affordable. It's still great.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just that balance.
Yeah. And I mean, even if you did the increase, the right people will come. Your work upgrades every time. Your work gets better every time. So good. I'm glad you did a price increase too. kind of been hearing the struggle out there. I'm like, just do it. Do it.
Yeah.
Yesterday's price is not today's price.
Right. I wish you, because you said you wasn't able to. I posted that New Year's Day.
Oh, that video?
That video. I posted New Year's Day.
That's probably what I remember.
Because that's the day that it was exactly that.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yesterday prices, because I had promos going on, I had all kinds of stuff going on, and another thing off of, how we built. I built my year, like, I've been doing this going on 2 years, my own studio, right? For the first year and a half, I've been kind of just lowballing my prices, like really bringing them, not down, but they were low, right? And one of the most popular things was 75 minutes. And people are like, 75? Yeah, that's like the perfect time. I think this is a sweet spot. If you're able to just really focus in and go to work, you can get done with everything for me in an amount of time, right there, 75 minutes for like $100. Because to me, I wouldn't go lower than that. I felt my rule was, unless for an hour, it starts there and then it goes up.
Right.
But I felt for my hour, I'm worth at least $100, at least,
Yes.
So I put that out there. That started to take off. People started doing that, and then I was like, y'all know these are and I also showed these are my real prices.
Yes.
And I put that on there so they can see, even though that's here, you're seeing the real ones,
right?
But you're going for this, which is cool. That's no problem, as long as you see it.
Yeah.
So when the first came of this year, there you go. And it went up to the real prices. You know what I mean? So that was a pretty interesting day.
That was nerve-wracking, I bet.
I was sweating for no reason. Like, it's cold right now.
Are they coming back? Are they going to come back? They're going to come back.
Oh, a lot of stuff was happening. It was a very interesting time. But it worked out because what I did prior to that is I started memberships.
That's nice.
3 months prior. So the memberships carried that transition through.
That's nice.
Right?
That's nice.
So it's the strategic thinking outside of the box.
You have to be so far ahead.
I mean?
No, that's perfect. That's perfect. Memberships, all of it. I encourage all of it. I'm like, it's just like anything else in life. You got to try something to know you don't like it, So try the memberships, try the gift cards, try everything. Try everything. And everything, and we're all different, so we're all going to like something different. So I love it. I've been hearing the word membership going around a lot lately, and I'm pretty happy. I stopped doing my membership because of COVID, but at this point, they know if they can't, they have to schedule, because then they won't be able to schedule with me. So at that point, there's no point in doing memberships. I'm like, you know what I mean? Because now you're in demand.
Yeah.
So there's no point in doing that. But I tell them, if you don't pick your one day out of every month for the rest of the year, you're not getting in again. Because somebody will bump into that membership, and that's it. You won't, because it's only once a month. I'm like, if you don't grab it, it's gone. It's gone. So that's how I do it now. I'm like, okay, there's no discount. There's no automatic withdrawal. There's none of that. I used to do automatic withdrawal, and that was so much easier too, but it's all trial and error. Yeah. But I love the memberships. I think it's great. It gives them, it helps them understand that self-care is important.
Yeah. And with the membership, I try to do it differently. It's very interesting how I do it, and I know people that
Everybody's
say I've
so
talked
different.
about it before, right? But with the membership, I also put that in their hands, and it's like you have the access, like to get on my books. Usually, you have to book it. You have to pay a deposit at least to even get on my books.
Yeah.
With the memberships, that allows you to kind of bypass that and to keep going and choose the way you want to do it, and you can break down your time. You get the average of this amount of time a month, and you can split it up however you want So I tried it, but to keep it from going crazy, I have a cap on how many members can do it. Oh dang it! I did the thing. I have a cap on how many people, because my camera
Loaded. Yeah, I see that.
So there's a cap. I feel like I do that every episode.
Yeah.
Like I might do something with that. Like if I do that and you see this and you're in Indiana or something, like you might get a free massage. I don't know. I need to like,
fix it. Yeah.
I'm gonna figure out something with that. But you get to choose however long you want to do it. But there's a cap of how many people can have a membership, and that way it won't go out of control.
Right.
I can handle X amount, but I can't handle full throttle.
Right.
You know
right.
what I mean?
Right.
That way I can still leave space for people that wants to come and
yes,
have an X amount of time. The trick was to give an X amount of time where people with membership won't go crazy, and not in a bad way, but right. That clearly, because it's one payment, but do it where there's enough without blocking off newcomers that wants to come.
Yes.
Like what was that? I had to figure out that number
right
to be enough that is great, that they enjoy, they got plenty of time, but also yes. Have a little bit restriction where you don't want to get a massage every day because you got 4 million minutes.
Yes. Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Just enough to where you can get a couple in a month and average that out through the stretch.
Right.
And in case, you have an emergency or something, you won't mind using, a 30-minute on your back or
yep.
foot or something. You know what I mean? So I had to find a special number. Once I did that and have it kind of like, it kind of balances everything.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that makes a lot of sense. You got the greedies. They'll take anything you have. And it's like, whoa, I have other people. So I get it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, finding that. Like, it's been crazy. But, like, so how do you do couples massages? I know you mentioned you have a guy therapist you go to. Right? Is there times where y'all may team up? And
no. I've been busy on my own for a long time. Even before I hit Instagram, I was already busy. I had a lady that would just come to my house. She was coming for almost 10 years. And then with him, I traded with him. That's all we do. We just trade once a month. He's done women's parties with me, but not I haven't really done couples massages. I do them back like one and then the other. You know what I mean? So when they want me, yeah. They know that it'll be one and one. I haven't had too many instances where they're like, okay, we'll take someone else. But honestly, I've been doing it like a lot on my own, so I don't really know. I don't really know other therapists, really.
Okay.
Yeah, no
and that's
couples.
not a bad thing.
Yeah.
You know what
I mean? It's good. It keeps
busy.
You
busy.
like focused, tunnel vision, instead of like mm-hmm. in the beginning when I was like doing what everybody does, is paying attention to everyone, It's good. Mm-hmm. I'm a loner.
Good. Well, which brings me to my next question for you. How are you managing to tie most of it together? Your time. There's times where I see, like you used to do, what is it? I know you like to rollerblade. I know you like to, travel and you get to the beach and have your time. How do you balance that and keep you from, with such a busy schedule, how do you fit time in for you? What does that look like?
I would say in the beginning, we all have to do the Saturdays and Sunday things. I don't do that anymore. And I did a lot of events, so I don't go out of my way to look for events on the weekends anymore. If someone calls me or knows someone, then they'll call me, but I don't even look for that, so they don't come too often anymore. So essentially, I don't work Saturdays and Sundays anymore. So I just kind of do the Monday through Friday. At this point, I'm 9 to 5 when I used to be 9 to 9. Now I'm 9 to 5, and I would say this year, I know that sounds bad because I'm 10 years in, but this year I just started just putting my phone away. I'm done. My hours are 9 to 5. If you text me at 5:01, I will text you tomorrow at 9. So that's one thing that this year, I just got really strict on. So that's what happened yesterday. I was like, doop, 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 put the phone down. But you know what? It's so bad for all of us. Like, I don't know. It's bad for me. I hate disappointing people. Like, I was up at 4:30 today and I never went back to sleep because I cannot stand disappointing people. So this year I also got therapy towards the end of last year, and I know a lot of people don't talk about that, but I think that it's important, like, because when work is going really great, that means you're putting in a lot of hours, a lot of money, and your entire body. So something has gets put on the shelf, right? So it's like family, usually, like husband, children. So I would say that up until last year, I did that. I gave my blood, sweat, and my tears. I gave up my family. I gave up everybody, my friends, everything. So this year, I'm pretty strict about it. I put my phone as soon as I get home. I just plug it into the room. I answer everyone back, and then I plug it in, and I'm done. I've been planning vacations on the weekends. I'm out. Like, my son just moved out, so that's why I'm been changing the direction a little bit to see maybe I will travel for massage. So I think it's no matter what I say, no matter what you say, it's just who we are as massage therapists. We just neglect ourselves. So we have to, like our posture, focus on ourselves all the time. Like, I'm not saying I didn't do a good job these past 10 years, but I'm not saying I did a bad job either. I kept up my massages, like my teacher told me. I changed the way that I eat. I changed my life to be able to handle the work. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's all gradual, and it's all a learning lesson. So what's been working for me probably won't work, for someone else. My hair, keep the colors, the tattoos, like these are just me, like my little things to we give so much. We give it all. So it's like, gotta get these nails cute, You gotta get these toes cute. We gotta find it in our own way and what makes us happy. So I try and do the best that I can.
Yeah.
I try. I think we all can say that. We try.
Yeah.
It's just who we are.
Yeah. You try. Agree.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's good to see. It's a reminder that is overlooked, but I'm a person that I'm really observant, and I really pick up on the little things that people may not say or may not think about. Is all that comes down um, to play in an episode I got that I'm gonna put together called Boundaries. Um, Making sure not just boundaries for your client, but boundaries for yourself to allow you to live. You know
Yes.
what I mean? Like,
Yes.
it's so easy, like you said, it's so easy to be about this all day, every day, because of what we do is incredible. How the impact that we make with
Yes.
humanity serving, you can get lost in it, you can get addicted to it because, especially if you're really about it. Let me break that down a little bit. For the
Mm-hmm.
ones that's just trying to make money and everything like that, it's a lot easier for them to get burnt out. But when you, not saying we can't, but it takes I think it takes more. And we reach burnt out because of how passionate, how much we love what we do, how much freedom it granted us to be able to do things like we do. Like, we're not, like, what job, you work less and make more. And like I said, it's not about money, but when we put a lot in, it really can take care of ourselves and give us the freedom to create and just live a dream, knowing that we made a difference in society,
That's right.
when it comes to well-being. And to keep us from getting burnt out, we need to set those boundaries, like you said, from 9 to 5 to, when after 5 happens, and it's all good. I completely understand. And to keep us from getting burnt out, to keep us from, sometimes it can have a mental challenge on ourselves, because then we get used to not doing for ourselves so much that we'll forget how to. And then when we do actually do something for ourselves, we feel guilty about it. It's like, oh man, I could have just did the session. I could have helped. And it's like, no, you need to be just as well.
Yes.
Oh. You know what I mean? Like, you need to be good too. You can't deliver at a high value if you're not living in a high value way. This where, like, I think this boundaries episode I'm working on is going to be, it's going to hit a lot of nails. It's going to start at the table, but it's going to zoom out as I go into us, into lives, not just us as therapists, but just as human beings, of knowing how to create the balance.
Right.
We're so quick. And some of that can be taught through corporate. You know what I mean? Working in the corporate office where we have to be there because we're on survival mode.
Yes.
And that's all we know. That's all we've been programmed to do, is the survival mode. Go, 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 go. Then when you actually get freedom and it's like you're not on survival mode, you have the support of your clients to do what they're, to do, to live your life the way you want to live your life. Then what ends up happening is it's like, wait a minute, how do I operate this way? It becomes kind of stagnant and lost, you know what I mean?
And then by then you're in pain because you haven't worked out, you're in pain because you haven't been eating. And then it's a whole journey, because then you're still taking care of others, but no one's taking care of you to help you get back on track again. Yeah, it's going to be a good episode, I'm telling you. It's going to hit. It's going to hit a lot of points for a lot of people. It just is what it's not fair. I think it's not fair sometimes, but if we don't do it and we don't love the way that we love, who's going to do it?
Right.
Who's going to do it?
Right.
Because I don't see it. In the times that we live in now, I don't see other professions, and I don't see many people offering, you know what I'm saying, from the heart. Like, I just don't see it.
Same. It's one way. And really, the beautiful thing that I absolutely love about my clients is that when they do 99.9% of all of them, there's not one.
Yeah.
It's what I give out, the energy and the love, the because when I'm zoned in, it's on. Like how you was when you went to, I mean, that I try to keep that every session.
Mm-hmm.
That's why, to me, it's important to have that gap, because I'm up here with it, especially after the first one. The first one, it can be, you know what I mean? I got to kind of get warmed up a little bit.
Yeah.
Then after I get that one, it's on. But what I give, the sessions I give them that impacts them on their day-to-day, feeling great 2 weeks after, et cetera, is reciprocated.
Yeah.
Is given back with, the next session and the word of mouth, and really even just telling me how much of an impact it made to a review. Like, it's an exchange that transfers great. And that's why I was like, I absolutely love my clients. Like, they they keep me going. They give me that reminder.
Yeah.
Like, yo, you're doing good things here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And it's like that feeling, like you said, like a lot of, I know you have the heart. We all have the heart, and this is the ones that carries that heart to help, to serve, and to do what we do. Those are the ones I'm trying to find.
Yeah, they're in there. They're in there. They're in there. I've met a few along the way. They're in there. They're just shoved in there with the overworked ones, or they're off the internet because they're already good to go.
You know what I mean?
That's really it.
I feel just so far.
Yeah, yeah.
A lot of them so far ahead. The most common ones, like, at least from these last episodes, talking to you and knowing how incredible you're doing. Talking with Saint today and knowing he's doing how he's doing. The somatic healing, doing what she's doing. I know Body Joints is working his way back up. He was doing he did the team, hiring employees and stuff too. Now he's rebuilding, the life touch and giving back to the community a life touch, and how he is helping future therapists to stand on their own, and from Sense Fuel to everybody, just everybody, and more to come. It's like I feel like I'm like a rookie or something. I was like, yo, y'all doing so great. You know what I mean? And I'm not, like I said, this is no comparison. This is just where I am. I accept it 100%. This is no knock. I'm just honored to be amongst, to me, the legends, the icons, the ones that's really been carrying it on their back for so long, and to be amongst you all and learn from you all and get the experience of, how you got here and your story, because what you're sharing is going to help many that comes across. Or these conversations are conversations that are not being had unless you know me directly. I know you directly. That's kind of the typical thing. If you know a person, yeah, you can get it. But it's not being showcased like that. It's not being put out there like that.
Yep.
So to put this out there and to have to sit down is incredible.
Yeah,
incredible.
I'm excited.
And I know this, as this podcast going forward, it was, for me personally, it was always going to be incomplete until I got you on the episode. Because like I said, it started with you.
It started with you. It started with you, and then you brought your wing.
And I'm not going to neglect me.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
That's right.
But at the same time, it was that spark. It was that day. That day led to here. And, I'm just paying homage on just that.
A little light. That's all it takes. Who knows?
You know what I mean?
Yeah, like what we do for each other. You just spark something in someone else, and that's how it keeps going. So I love my page for that, because I don't need anything. I don't need any shares. I don't need any likes. I just want someone to, if they're lost and they stumble on my page and they're like, okay, I got a better heading. That's all I want, because I'm already busy.
Yep.
I have already found my passion. I know where I'm supposed to be. But, if that's all it brings to everyone, or just to freaking laugh with all the dumb shit I post in my stories, that's good enough too, because we have our bad days too. So, and I love that I can share some of my crazy stuff too. I'm like, you guys love hearing it, all the crazies and all the bad stuff too. So I'm glad it helps. I'm glad that we met. I'm glad we started this journey. I'm glad that you went ahead and started the ball on this, because I think it's going to be great. I got someone you can call next for your next interview. So that's how it should be. Every time you finish with someone, like, hey, who do you know that I can, you know what I'm saying?
I'm going to put that in.
Yeah.
Put that in there.
Yeah, who do you know? And then
I'll bring them on, because we all we got. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah.
So we might as well come together. We already doing the work. We already doing it.
Yeah.
Why not do it together?
That's right.
That's going to change, and you know what I mean, about what we do in our day-to-day, but it'll change for the better, and it'll be easier to know that you got somebody beside you working along with you.
It's
you know
true.
What I mean?
It's true. What's your next 5 years looking like?
My next 5, to have that event going, traveling, I think all of our therapists is coming along this way, because I was thinking about having, doing the employee route and all of that stuff.
Part of it.
Listening to my clients, that's going to be tough. Yeah,
you're in a hard act to follow.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
A lot. So are you. And it's like, I'll tell them, it's like, what would you,
No, they don't even want to hear it.
What would you think about employees and bigger and stuff? It's like, it don't matter. We want you.
Yeah.
Like,
damn it.
Thank you. Yeah, one way, but then that just, it's like, why do that? I'm going to waste my time. Because they don't want what everybody can do. They don't want, at least for the clients that I've heard. Yes. Of course, they will want more. Yes. But that's the reason I can't do couple sessions now.
Yeah.
I can't do couple sessions.
Yeah.
Because they be like, we're fighting over who got you. And it's like, I don't want anybody else.
That's really what it is. That's really what it is. Right? But that's awesome. It's like, okay, well, you make all of it, so it's good.
Yeah. And it's like, well, y'all might as well take the evening. I work on one, then I work on the next.
Yeah.
But at least it's easy. At least both of y'all were able to get my session. You can flip a coin however you got to do it.
That's
but
right.
At least y'all both be able to do it. And a lot of times, the couples and matrimonies and marriages, they do one day, and then the next person comes the next day. Yeah. Or they trade it, however. That's so nice. It's set beautifully. But trying to find a way to, I want to be more present online, not as far as like advertisement and stuff, but one thing I'm working on, like this podcast, like I'm learning an instrument, certified in sound healing. I want to start doing things in between sessions, which I call it. You know, you can feel good, and that holds you over 2 weeks and everything. You feel great, but when you had that one bad day, they can put a little oomph. And when you had that little oomph, maybe you can tune into me doing, you know, energy work. You know, I got my singing bowls. I got a couple of those I've done. You've probably seen on that, you know, on the IG. Got a couple of those I've done. You know, tune forwards, energy work, and just having that, you know, that presence online to help you get through between sessions. Right. I want to establish that more. If it's a podcast, if it's events, however.
That's cool.
I think that's, and just learning as much as I can. I'm a type of person, like, once I really like something, it's like, okay, I want to do it for myself.
Yeah, of course.
Like, once I've seen it.
That's right.
I was liking a hand pan. I saw too much. It's like, okay, give me a pan. Give me a pan now. I need a pan. I'm going in.
Yep.
I don't know what it's going to make, but I'm going to make something right
here. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. That's awesome. So, I like it.
Yeah,
good.
That's it for
I'm
me.
Looking forward to seeing it.
Good. Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. I appreciate you taking the time out of your day. I know you're fairly busy. It means more than you can think of. Thank you for sitting with me. Thank you for being a part of, you know, this journey, this episode. Thank you. You know, I'm such an honor to have you as a friend. You know what I mean? Glad we connected. Glad we crossed paths.
Thank you. Thank you.
And much more. Yeah, send me that, you know, the other therapist that you like.
I will. That way you can get on a chat with him. It's my therapist, and I'm sure you guys will have a ball talking. He's down to earth, and he's really chill, too. And we talk so much. Like, without him, I don't even know. I talk so much junk. I'm like, without you, I wouldn't be able to, you know what I'm saying, get through it. So, yeah, I'll send you that information. But thank you again for having me. I'm super humbled. I'm really, I feel really grateful and blessed to have you feel that way towards me. And I just hope that I can continue to give back and be there for you whenever you need me as well. So count me in whenever it's time for us to party. Us massage therapists need a break.
Definitely. Well, it's guaranteed. Guaranteed. Yes. Everybody's been on a podcast. Guaranteed. I know y'all watching. Yes. Guaranteed. I'm putting it together. I'm working on it.
Let's do it.
I'm working on it. And it's going to happen because it's destined.
Perfect. I believe it.
Happen,
I believe it.
Right. So as we always say, remember to resync back to yourself.
Bring it back.
Thank you for tuning in. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you share, like, comment, and subscribe so you can get notified on the new uploads to the channel. If you're watching this on my website, thezodiacexperience.com, make sure you join the email list where you can get notified on new episodes or even a chance to join the live show, me and the audience, and even get some cool gear like this jacket and shirt. If you're listening to this on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple, iTunes, whatever you are, make sure you follow so you can get notified as well. And last but not least, if you're not following me on any of the social platforms, IG, Facebook, TikTok, etc., everything is at the Zodiac Experience. All the links, everything else could be found down below. Appreciate you tuning in. Once again, thank you. And remember to resync back to yourself.